EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. For today's event, we are here at Wolf Creek Golf Club. It's located in Mesquite, Nevada. Frank, if I didn't know that it was Mesquite, Nevada, I think we landed on the moon and they built the golf course here. This is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, 100 years ago, you couldn't build a golf course like this here. Obviously, all the equipment needed, but in the end, it's wonderful. It's an absolute playground for anyone that sort of loves to play the game. It is desert golf, obviously because of the terrain, but the green oasis that cuts in between is each hole. It just sort of gives you a totally different experience because you keep having to remind yourself you are smack bang in the middle of the desert. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, this for birdie. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Pretty good shot right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. He'll take par and move on. Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Either that, the shorter hitter just play to that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front 9. That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank, from the Middle East to here in Nevada, you've played desert golf around the world. What does it feel like?
Oh, it's fun. It's an oasis. Normally just the drive to a golf course. You're trying to imagine, there can't be a golf course around here. Where could it be? You know, where all of a sudden is one going to pop up? And then over a mountain you go, there it is, a green oasis. And the other thing about desert golf, they look so perfect in amongst that because the backdrop around really makes the golf course itself pop.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. Frank, this is a pretty challenging approach shot here at the 10th.
It's certainly one of the longest second shots you'll play into a par 4 at Wolf Creek. You're coming off a lie with a ball slightly above your feet, so that's a hook shot. And you're really hitting a hook shot into a green that's designed to hit a cut. It makes this shot a little bit more challenging, so just be a little careful here.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frankie could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And, Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up. be safely on deck.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Novello. We're here in the state of Nevada getting set for what should be a wonderful day of golf. Wolf Creek Golf Club is the site for the action. And Frank, this really is the definition of desert golf. It is spectacular.
The green oasis, Rich, amongst this canyon area is just something to be seen, really. It's hard to imagine you can actually build a golf course like this. Elevated tees, huge changes in elevation, and you're sort of weaving your way around this magnificent sort of topography. And to be honest, I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's just an oasis. Amazing.
But you hate to miss from that distance. These putts keep the round together. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Ouch. We really can't afford to give away shots at this point in the tournament, Frank. From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th, it measures 560 yards, a sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It is 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the seagulls are walking to work. Good chance at one. And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Looks like he just misread that. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Wow, that's disappointing. Chance to get too deep on one hole and you leave it short.
Well, the good thing is he didn't miss it, right? It didn't go past and miss. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Okay. Still has a chance for birdie, too.
Right, okay. I like that positive attitude.
Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. Thirteenth hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees. But very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still.
Rich, these players aren't getting a reprieve with the win right now.
Right from the start, the winds have been kicking pretty good.
Yeah, but at least it's presenting that challenge for the players that don't get every other day.
This will test the player. I mean, it's one thing to play with no wind in perfect conditions, but as we know, golf is a game of variables.
Yeah, and better strike will be rewarded today.
He's going to beat himself up on the way to the next tee. You don't miss those putts. Clean this up with a tap. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realised how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realise the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Getting set now over the putt. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. He'll take par and move on. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
Frank, the beauty of the game, the changing conditions. You've played it all over the world, and you don't play it inside a dome, do you?
Yeah, anybody can play on a fine, still day, but what separates the good from the great is actually days like today. That's when that little extra attention to detail, the better strike, the better swing, is certainly going to pay dividends.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with one round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Frank, it's just amazing what can be done today. Where you can build golf courses on the moon? I mean, that's what this looks like here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada.
And obviously it's an experience, too, that has to be played before you can thoroughly enjoy it, because you just wouldn't think this is possible. If someone said you can come out to the middle of the desert and you're going to play a phenomenal golf course, you'd say it's not possible. But as these holes intertwine around in the canyon area, just wonderful vistas, huge changes in elevations. Really, it's just a fun adventure.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Good chance now after that approach shot for a birdie.
Oh, he was so precise coming in, and the measurement is 9 feet away.
Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold. Even par currently.
Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So that's a drop shot. Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus. Comfortably knocks it in.
Now to the 16th hole as we get set for the finishing stretch. And Frank, what's the best way to play this relatively short par 4?
Somehow you've got to straighten the hole up in your mind's eye, Rich. Just look all the way across that. Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power to...
Really powering up here. Frank, I know you like boxing. That was some heavyweight power right there.
Smoked it.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Good-looking shot right here. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Got it for par. Frank, this is really a cool closing stretch here at Wolf Creek. Short par 3 15th, the short 4 at the 16th, and now the par 5 17th. You can make up some ground in a hurry as you come down the finishing stretch.
You certainly can. A good drive short of the little stream creek that runs across there, and this is doable as a two-shotter. You find the bunkers or trouble off the tee, then obviously you're forced to lay up, leaving that third shot across the water. But really a fun hole if you want to try and take that second shot on.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Oh, get down. Look out.
It's over.
He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is. Just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Has to regroup, playing his fifth shot after hitting it in the water.
Yeah, it's not all lost. Once again, check the yardage, check the wind, start again. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's messy. That's a double bogey. 18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
How about that terrific approach shot setting up a makeable eagle putt? Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
that'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time.